I'm not exactly sure how to say this in a way that will get through, but it makes me feel very unsafe and very violated, akin to being physically violated, um, when I am being stalked and like surveillanced, um, when I'm being told that I'm being watched without my consent, when you're confirming that you are seeing inside my home or seeing private things that you shouldn't be seeing, um, and are being super specific about it, like through your like advertisements and ish. um, it makes me feel very violated, and it's a level of stress that um, is affecting my health. um, I couldn't force myself to eat yesterday. I haven't been able to force myself to take all my medications. Um, and I kept thinking, despite the levels of stress that I've been undergoing, like I keep trying to tie everything back to my disabilities, but it's a whole lot more than, just my disabilities. It's a level of targeting that I have been experiencing on both a fraudulent romantic level and on like a stalking, like pervasive stalking level. And um it's not something I should have to contend with. It's not something that I should have to get used to or um I don't know. And the creepy thing is with what I've seen in the spiritual, what I experienced in the spiritual, and then some of the micro expressions that I've experienced from a particular person, um, or I've watched from a particular person on a particular subject. It really, it's starting to really add up to this you know equation of, you can't engage me in any kind of romantic fantasy without me thinking that you're going to, you know, I don't know, like last night I was advertised a Las Vegas King Suite, like bedroom or something, and it showed me like the view on the thumbnail or whatever. I didn't click on it, but I don't know, suggesting like I don't know, eloping or something. And it's a scary thought thinking about girls these days who are being engaged with a romantic fraud and being told that they're loved and that the other person wants to marry them or whatever, ask them if they want to go to get married in Las Vegas or whatever, gets them on a plane or on some mode of transportation, and then traffics them, abducts them. That ish is terrifying. And I don't know. There's been like an advertisement saying that some wealthy guy wants to purchase me a home or whatever, and then I've been seeing a lot of advertisements for RVs and things, and I just, you know what that flashes me back to is the first guy who I worked for who wasn't, and like in the video it said that that person wasn't comfortable with my home or something, and he can't stand the place that I live, and that was the same kind of rhetoric that I was told by a guy who was trying to traffic me in Arizona. He didn't like the place that I lived, and he offered me to live for rent-free in his mobile home that was not being used or whatever. And all I could see in my head was waking up and being in a new, like, destination or something, and like all I could see was trafficking, basically. Like, and he just kept trying to get me to go on trips with him out of the state, out of the country, and I don't know. Y'all have so many red flags right now. I don't trust. I don't even know, like, what it would take for me to get to a place where I would feel safe, like going on a romantic vacation with somebody who says that they love me, or not says that they love me, but like even just marries me. Like, I don't know, I saw something about marriage trafficking or something. I didn't watch it, but I mean, and essentially, like, I remember there was a firefighter that kind of messed with my head when I was younger, and I remember him telling me that one of the girls or women, or his ex-wife, not technically his ex-wife, because he married her in a Las Vegas thing because she was waiting to have relations until marriage. And so he married her, but the paperwork still needed to be submitted, and he just never submitted it. So they were living together and etc., but they weren't legally married. And then the marriage didn't end up working out, apparently, because anyways, but it didn't end up working out. And so when she asked for a divorce, he just threw it in her face. There's no need. Could you imagine that level of betrayal? Like, that's... But, I can imagine men, traffickers, basically pretending or going through the motions of marrying somebody, giving them a false sense of security, moving or like going on honeymoon, and just handing them over, kind of thing. It's so disgusting, and I'm surprised that I'm not a horrible person already, like, because this type of thing really, like, I used to have dreams when I was younger that of being a vigilante, and I was terrified that I would grow up and become a vigilante, and I'd go after all of these perpetrators, and then, yeah, end up in like this bad situation or whatever. But it's just crazy to me how we're not all, you know, we all haven't just become hunters hunting after these people and taking them out. Like, I'm still, I don't know. I did determine one thing, that if it's okay for me to utilize a weapon for self-defense, it is okay for me to utilize my spiritual gifts and authority for self-defense.